All right, we're back. We're doing another live. I am super excited to kick this thing off, and I'm hoping we're live. It's showing, but we'll get some people hopefully commenting. If you throw some comments in the chat, um, I will see them, and that'll help me to know that we are live. It is 10 a.m. Pacific, last day of 2025. It's been a beast of a year, and I've taken some body blows, but I am optimistic that we're going to get through one of, I think, more challenging times in the economy for a lot of folks. And man, I'm just optimistic that there is going to be um, a whole new group of people that are going to see AI. They're going to see the capacity that they could to jump into technology, to jump into tech, and they're going to make a move, and it's going to help them completely change their lives. Right. So this is the end of the year. We don't have a rewind button, but this isn't going to be just a recap. This is really going to be about, you know, what 2026 looks like. I'm going to talk about some wins for sure. And obviously, we're going to, we got something fun running in the background. I'm going to get into that in a little bit. Bump sale. Um, but if you see that number climbing in the comments, that's us. That's us building the momentum. Hannah, I see you. Appreciate you being there. Same thing, Lenore. I appreciate you being on LinkedIn, jumping in. Um, Man, stay with us because this is gonna, I hope, help people to understand like where we are, what a lot of people are going through, as well as um, kind of give you a preview of what we think is just right around the corner, and so close. And want to make sure that we make this a success. So drop your comments in the chat and please share this far and wide. That's why we're doing this on LinkedIn, because it's the place for people that are career changing. It's the place that we're going to reach the most number of people with a mission and what we're trying to accomplish. And so please, by commenting, by liking, by participating in the bump sale, it's just going to spread that reach and help us to help more and more people. And that's the mission, is to just help as many people as we possibly can. So let's jump into um man, let's start with where we are. I think AI jobs are exploding right now. I think employers are trying to figure out, how to figure out the talent system, because the talent's everywhere now. Like, so many people can jump on Lovable or can vibe code, that the talent pool of people that are interested now in breaking into tech, um, it's explosive. And I think a lot of people are saying, AI is going to take jobs and AI is going to replace junior engineers and AI is going to be doing all the coding. But I have a different take. I'll share that with you in a minute. But like, I have a much more optimistic take on what it's going to do once the dust settles and people kind of figure things out. Because the reality is, like right now, the way we've traditionally thought about uh, hiring and education and like starting careers, changing careers, degrees aren't keeping up, and degrees were the thing. It was like the gold standard was to go out, get a piece of paper. Took me more than a decade. um but I think it's important to share that I didn't have a traditional going to 4-year college, graduate with a computer science degree or engineering degree, math degree, jumping on getting a first job as a software engineer. Like, that's not the path for me. And so I know it's possible that if someone is not on that journey right now, they can definitely be successful. Um, Boot camps aren't enough right now. Self study alone doesn't work for most people. It worked for me, but again, it took me my entire life. I've been coding since I was a teenager, 13 years old. So well over 30 years of experience coding, but only half of that time was I getting paid to do it. I was doing it as a hobby for the longest time. So the reality is right now there's opportunity, but for a lot of companies and for a lot of people trying to break into tech, it's about getting that real world experience, getting hands on, getting the time and the reps experience under the belt that you can then show a employer partner, a company, the value you can bring to the table. And that's the baseline of what we try and accomplish for our participants, people in our ecosystem, people in our community, is how can we get them meaningful hands-on experience? And at the same time, how can we get the bonus parts? How can we get apprenticeship credentials? How can we get college credit so we can make apprenticeship degrees a reality and have everybody have an opportunity to have, high wage, high growth career, not just in tech. So more to come on that, but across a variety of different fast moving, digitally impacted career pathways, industries, and segments, we got to make sure that people get the skills that they need to transition into the new collar, new wage, new growth careers, right? So that's what we're doing here, and that's why today's campaign is so important. What your dollars fund is the work that we're doing in the streets right now, creating one of only a few programs in America that has apprenticeship degrees, has like a 4-year college degree or a baccalaureate degree, 'cause it's not going to take 4 years, but a bachelor's degree while you're working on the job in that industry. And that's crazy that like we're one of the few that are doing it. Um, that's what your dollars go to fund when we do fundraisers and we're out there trying to, get support, and anything that goes towards the nonprofit is going towards that mission. So right now, I want you to check in on the bump sale, click that link, check it out. We started at $1. So we started at $1 a little bit ago. I've been sort of like busy with the holidays and hadn't had a chance to really get out there and talk about it, but it's the end of the year. So this is the end of it. If I go to the site right now, and you can either smash that donate button on the front page, that'll take you there, or go directly to the link. And right now, we're up. We got another donor. So someone just donated $29. So right now, to get in on the bump sale, $30 is the number. So smash that button. You can get in at $30 and it continues to go up. So we just got it. This is working, folks. This is working. Just so you know, the names below, those are updated manually. So I'm not gonna be able to do that live stream, but the dollar amount is gonna come up. So once the live stream ends, I'll go and I'll update. I'll put people's names up there so everybody gets credit as quickly as we can. But we already hit the 30. We already went from 29. Next person paid. Next person is gonna pay 30. So that's what we're doing in terms of like this end of the year last minute chance for people to donate, get a tax write off for 2025 and help us move into 2026. So I want to talk a little bit about Alfred, who was about 2 years ago. Alfred was a transitioning service member, and Alfred is always a Marine, so a veteran of the Marine Corps, and he signed up for our Skill Bridge program. And we had a partner at the time, ServiceNow, and ServiceNow had an opportunity for him to join there. So he had to separately apply for that cohort after we got him in our Skill Bridge program. So I remember we had him go. He interviews with the manager. Manager loves the guy and says, yes, he's a fit. He starts his apprenticeship with ServiceNow. As he approaches the end of the year, he's still super anxious. He still doesn't know if they're going to make an offer. And finally, after, real world code, working on a team, hands on, getting feedback, getting a legit paycheck from ServiceNow, he got the offer. And he's now been there for a year. And I'm just like, man, what an amazing journey to go from being in the Marines and not knowing what you're going to do when you get out, getting the offer letter from us to get into our SkillBridge program, which, by the way, for those of you that don't know, transitioning service members can get approval from their command to be reassigned to go SkillBridge at a company. In our case, people come SkillBridge with us. We often register them in an apprenticeship program at the same time. They get a chance to do learning and then real world hands-on with companies. Many of those companies hire the individual, they transition into a permanent role there inside of the company. So the whole time they're learning and they're getting paid and they're getting work experience. But there's no guarantee in any of that, at any point that like you're going to get that permanent offer at the end. It's exceedingly challenging for us to create this opportunity. And we're so proud that we're able to do it for so many service members. So that's why we do this. That's what I've been working on cooking this past year, is making sure that like we can create this opportunity for many more people. So again, this doesn't happen because this individual is like special, right? That like coming out of the Marines, he had some innate skill to be a software engineer. He had like the raw aptitude and the attitude that would make him successful, but there's no guarantees. And I remember him coming in and being like, I don't know what I'm gonna do when I get out, but I'm hoping that this works. To get that offer letter at the end of the tunnel, this is crazy, crazy. But we see those kinds of life-changing journeys all the time, man, all the time. So I want to talk a little bit about some receipts. I want to give you a rapid fire of some of the receipts we have for the year. Um, Top line number, I think the number that we always focus on is like how many lives are changed. Like when transitioning service member gets approved for a skill bridge and then like is able to start a successful start, um man, that's crossing the line. Like just getting to the start of that means that you're going to probably have a much better and successful transition into civilian life than the average person that gets out and doesn't have a skill bridge opportunity. So these folks have put their time in. They are about to get out of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard. And we've been able to have this year alone 65 veterans transition with us from military service, which we appreciate. And I thank them for that service, into working in the civilian realm. Now, some of them go back to school, but the large majority of them, they get jobs at the end of their skill bridge. So 65 skill bridge. We did we registered 62 apprentices. Man, at the beginning of the year, when we started seeing all these layoffs and tech companies are like, not sure where we're at with hiring early career folks. For us to get 62 apprentices, that's in tech. Again, in tech. This isn't like healthcare, which we're coming for healthcare, education, areas where there's like an inordinate amount of demand. Just to think, we're not just getting early career people into organizations, we're getting organizations to commit to paying wages to allow people to make this transition. All of our folks graduate debt free. All of our folks get hands on experience, get paid while they're learning. We did that 62 times. We had huge new projects that we kicked off. Super excited to talk about project that's started this year, moving into the next year, and that is we are one of a bunch of collaborators that are helping the city of Los Angeles build out an apprenticeship hub. So this is going to be very much like there's one on the East Coast in New York. LA is the second largest market in the country. There's going to be an apprenticeship hub, and we are one of the providers. We're responsible for building and implementing a lot of technology around this apprenticeship application and getting people into this at scale. So, man, am I impressed by our team's ability, because it's not just me, it's our team's ability to win as part of the sub-recipients. Our main partners in that are Goodwill, um, JFF, Apprenticeships for America, CareerWise. Like, to be one in that echelon of organizations doing this kind of work is just amazing. Unite LA, I'm probably missing a few names, but we are going to make a huge impact in 2026 as part of this apprenticeship hub. And it's really going to allow us to catalyze more growth in apprenticeship and apprenticeship degrees across California, with a real focus on let's make an impact in the city of Los Angeles. Employers that said yes to partnerships, yes to hiring people from us. I want to start by thanking some of our collaborators and our partners like Spotlight Strategies, our agency partner Get Me Biz, Microsoft stepped up, hired one of our apprentices recently. Process for Change, love you folks out there giving us an opportunity to work on projects and get hands-on experience and start to build out completely new career pathways for like technical sales, right? Um, just a fantastic the list is, I'm sure, much longer than that, but those are the kind of the ones that I just really quickly scratched out some notes that I wanted to make sure I thanked for their commitment, their effort, the work that they're trusting us to do, and trusting in our graduates, right? The folks that it takes a lot of faith for them to say we're the preferred provider. That's another little notch in our cap. We were San Diego Advancing San Diego Initiative designated us once again as a preferred provider, not only for software engineering, but now for cyber engineering talent. So we got another notch on our belt there. Um, Man, volunteers who showed up. We've had so many volunteers that have stepped up to the call, stepped up to the plate and said they wanted to mentor, they wanted to help out. I think we had 14 new come on board just in the last few months. And man, drop a number in the chat. I think Yashima is working on figuring out what that final number is. I think we've got 14, 17, 18, 19. We got about 20 volunteers that are like actively um on a regular basis every month working with our apprentices. Love to have more. So if anybody's wants to give back, wants to volunteer and spend an hour per month working with one of our apprentices, man, we'd love to have your support. We try and make sure that our apprentices get lots of love and support from industry professionals that can, not just the technical side, but can really help people making that transition from like military life to civilian life. There's so many challenges people are facing that aren't just the technical parts, but are just the real life and type challenges. So um, thank you so much for the volunteers and the mentors that have just consistently shown up. We have new pathways that didn't exist before. We have 7 new pathways. That's everything from, let me see if I can get them all. We got cybersecurity, so everybody's excited about that. AI, of course. We've got technical implementation specialists for ServiceNow. We've got digital marketing. We got technical sales. We've got cloud engineer, and we got data engineer. That's it. Like, those are some fast moving career pathways in tech right now. And even if the job doesn't fit under one of those are the underlying skills that also work across a bunch of different industries, right? So it's like AI in advanced manufacturing, right? So someone that goes through our curriculum for AI is going to be great if they are already in advanced manufacturing. So for people who are looking to upskill your existing workforce, we've got the programs for you to be able to like increase digital literacy, increase AI literacy, and you can go full tilt with an apprenticeship, which we can do with an incumbent worker. So if you got someone on your team and you need to move them over and they need to be more AI savvy, let's talk. Let's have that conversation, because even if they're already existing employee, we can fashion an apprenticeship that will help them to get the skills they need to transition into the role that you envision them in inside your organization. So these are true outcomes, not just activities, right? People got jobs, companies took real chances, and AI stopped being hype and started being real work and opportunities for people. And that, I think, is the key. Um, None of this happens again without mentors, without the positive reviews. Man, we got a bunch of, like, again, I want to brag on my people. We got some highly rated instructors. Folks just constantly give them 5-star reviews, and people that are just showing up week after week. Like, again, you're one of them. Those of you that are listening to this, hitting that button, amplifying this message, sharing the work that we're doing, liking it, making a comment. That's the best way that you can make a contribution. Is just like helping to raise awareness. In addition to that, doesn't hurt if you hit that button and make a donation. But if that's not the thing you can do right now in this moment, amplifying the message and letting people know that there are folks working on solutions. We don't have to just like sit back and like lose jobs to, other countries. We don't have to be non-competitive. We can compete. I know it's tough, but we're here. Like, we're putting the work in. So, um why this matters now, like why today, it's not about experimenting. Like at the beginning of the year, we weren't sure. We still needed to register a bunch of new occupations. We got those in, we got that done. We know the model, we know what works, what doesn't work in terms of giving people experiential learning. I've done that for almost a decade now, starting in the boot camp space with rapid immersion and like getting people out there as quickly as we could to then be ready for hands on experience. But the only variable left is fuel, right? It's how do we move from we've tested this, we've kind of grinded out like this is how it should work, and this is how it does work. And now, how do we pour gas on the fire? So, I think it's important, this movement because AI is moving faster and faster. I mean, I use all of the tools all the time. We just saw the announcement Manus got bought by Meta. We see Claude competing with Gemini. We see all this movement, Perplexity offering, for everybody's competing for attention and to be the model of choice. And as consumers, we benefit from that fast moving. But our economy is only going to keep up if people have the skills they need to be successful in these new jobs. And that's what's going to drive, I think, more of the innovation is like people can no longer stand still or be on the sideline or be looky loos about AI. They have to implement it for their business, for their industry. And so we need technologists that know that. Employer demand is accelerating. We're now beyond a let's think about it, let's hire somebody to, consult with us and come up with our strategy. Now it's like, oh, okay, we know we need to do it. Our competitors are doing it. We need to change our thought process around staffing. We're not in the let's slash a bunch of people and AI is going to write 90% of our code. We're out of that like boom of hype and we're into no, this is what it actually takes. Rehiring a lot of those people back because we need junior engineers. Here's my take on the junior engineers because people are like AI is going to put juniors out of business. My potentially hot take on it is the people that think that they're going to just hire AI instead of or hire or build AI and AI agents instead of hiring junior engineers are missing something really important. Junior engineers eventually get valuable when they have more skill and have been in the game for longer. Everyone wants to hire senior engineers. Everybody wants to hire people that have experience. And the reality is, if you don't give junior engineers a chance, you won't have any more seniors in a few years. So you're cutting your nose off to spite your face if you decide, well, we're just going to hand off a bunch of work to AI and just make our senior engineers more productive. It's a yes and you can make your senior engineers more productive and you can get more out of a new junior early career person than you ever could before, enabling them to use AI. They're going to learn faster and be more productive. And so it's like, why wouldn't you make an investment in your future by hiring more junior engineers that are going to be way more productive right now with the use of AI and are only going to be bigger and better over time as they gain more experience? It's easier than ever to pour into and invest in people that want to be in the industry and in the space and bring whatever their transitional skills are from whatever industry they came from and then can apply it in this industry that is becoming more digital. So I think my hypothesis is the smart money is still investing in humans in the loop. It's still investing in people. And it's creating a nation of people that are so savvy and literate around AI, so savvy and literate around computational thinking. We're not all going to be software developers, but we can all benefit from better problem solving, better ability to understand customers, what their asks are, and understand when they ask a question what the real root thing is that they're trying to get back out and get better at doing that. That's a computational thinking, right? That's how you reason through, create an algorithm, you destructure, right? You summarize and provide a relevant, like AI is really good at that, but we still need humans to be able to refine, like, what's the real question? And I think there's tons of capacity for humans and AI to bring us to the next level. So, in a minute, I'm going to explain again exactly how the bump cell works and ask you to be a part of it. First, again, I want to reiterate this is what's at stake. Every dollar that you donate to us, tax deductible, it's really an investment in someone else's shot. in someone else's opportunity because we cannot hire people, train them without support. Most of the support comes from employers. Some of the support comes from government funding, grants, but the reality is we need donors to fill the gap before we can make the hire, before we can make the offer. That's what's so important, right? Is like this your contribution has like a multiplier effect because your contribution is stacked on top of government funds, employer portion, and it creates the opportunity for person. All right, so here's how we're going to close out the year together. Let me see if I can share my screen. I'm going to try and do this. Let me see how well this will work. Let me hit the little refresh button. Okay, we're still at 30. All right, come on, folks. I'm going to make the pitch. All right, so let me share my screen here. Let me pull up share screen. All right. I'm going to give you full screen, full attention. So here's how we're closing 2025 out together. Scroll up to the top of the screen. I got this video, shot this earlier in the week, and we're running a bum sale. First person gave $1. I think the first person, yeah, I know who the first person is. Mike Roberts. All right, so I put the first dollar in. The next person, Yuli Lai, superstar. She came out to an event. I remember meeting her at the Southern California Apprenticeship Network event. So shout out to Yuli. You were the second person in line. So she paid $2. She gave $2. The first person, next person, then each person gives $1 more from the previous person. It's like a ladder that we're climbing together. Right now, we are at $30. And that means that someone just gave 29. And this hasn't been updated, like I said, since the beginning, but we've had at least 28 donors as of last night when I updated this. And right after we finish the live, I'll update and give people their flowers. But right now we're at 30. So the person after that gives 30, 31, it's momentum. It's not just donations. Every click bumps the chain forward. Every dollar stacks on top. Before you know it, we could be at the goal. Last time, with the phenomenal help of all of these sponsors, we raised $15,000. And you'll see Arlen was on the top of the list. Whole bunch of people from our community raised, like I said, nearly $16,000. So we're at 31. Thank you. So next person is going to be locked in at 32. But this, again, isn't just donations. We'll know very quickly whether or not we can hit the goals that we need to close out this year strong and then move into 2027. And here's what we need from you. Look at the number on the screen, 31. If that's your number, you can be the one that gives the 31 and raises the bar. Keep in mind, you can do more than one. So if you think your number is slightly higher, you can get in now at 31, 32, and then you can click it again, or you can wait. You can click it a little later. The idea is that we want to build momentum and we want to get everybody an opportunity to participate at whatever level that they're comfortable participating at. So no need to wait on the sideline. Thank you for donation number 30. I'm going to refresh it again really quickly. 31 is the number, and then it'll be 32. So I'm just going to, leave it up here for just a second so that you guys can see, like, this is 100% tax deductible. As a special gift, I will give away a free copy of my audiobook. So if you're not looking for a job, but you know someone that's looking for a job, you could gift it to somebody else. It's all of the tips that I have over the years in my Ask Me Everything sessions, in my coaching sessions, in all of the hundreds of students that we've had go through our boot camps, all of the things we've seen work from them. We've seen these things and distilled it all into a very short book, right? The book itself, it is, I got a copy. I got a physical copy here. I'll hold it up here in just a second. Um, so the book's got like, I don't know, 105, 108 pages to it, right? So I wrote this, released this earlier this year, last year, and then just launched the audiobook version of it. We're still waiting for it to hit the shelf in Audible. It's all published, it's up there, but you can get an early access to the audio version of it with a donation. Thank you, 31. We're now at 32. Someone just gave $31. So the next person up, 32 is the ask. And like I said, this is just it just works. I mean, think about it. You can make a donation to an amazing organization. You can get an audio copy, super easy to consume, of Hacking the Job Search. You can gift it to someone that you know is on the job search. And this is like, this right here is worth at least the $32 donation, but it makes so much more impact, right? All of the money in this bump sale goes 100% to CCC. All the proceeds of the book, if you get the book on Amazon, I'm sure somebody can throw the link in the chat, or we'll throw it in afterwards. Same thing, all the proceeds of the book go to CCC. It's just, I hope, a great way for us to generate enough revenue that we can put more souls in seats, right? That's the key. That's what we're trying to accomplish. All right. Again, if 32 isn't the number, that's okay. You missed it. It's 34. We got 32 and 33. It's 34 right now. You guys are crushing it. My heart. You guys got my heart. Share the stream, right? If 34 or 35 is not your number, share the stream. Bring someone in that can make the bump and let them know, like, this is what you're, this is what you just learned about today. This amazing, awesome way that, like, did you know people get paid to learn how to code? Did you know that before this stream? Did you know that people could get up to their last 6 months of active duty when they're transitioning to civilian life, and they could request to come SkillBridge with Creating Coding Careers, and they could be in an apprenticeship program, and they could work the last 6 months of their active duty, still get their military pay and their benefits, etc., and then transition into a role in the civilian world, pay $0 in tuition, and have no debt. It's not like we're going to come back afterwards, and when you land a job, we're like, yeah, we're going to take a little money from the. No, it's 100% debt free. It is supported by the companies, because the companies value and know how important registered apprenticeships are. We only do about 1% of our jobs in America are apprenticeships. Europe, they're advanced. They're at like 2 to 3%. Per capita, they're like 8 times the spending that we do in America on this. Creating Coding Careers is on the cutting edge of something that we're going to see more and more of in the future years. Because I'm telling you, I'm talking to families, and the families are saying, I don't know if going to college makes the same kind of sense it made before, because they might be better off going into a trade, like becoming a plumber or electrician, or a non-traditional apprenticeship, like becoming a registered nurse through an apprenticeship program, right? Or becoming a teacher through a registered apprenticeship program, right? So like the everybody going to college thing, it's not working for as many folks. And the only way we can fulfill those opportunities is if folks like you jump in, celebrate the great things that we did in 2025, the future in 2026, and again, encourage people to like pay attention, make this happen. So we're currently at 34. I'm like looking over there to see if it's going to go. We're currently at 34. Who's got 35? Who's going to bring that person in by sharing this in your community and getting somebody to be like, yo, I can do 35. Maybe I can also do 36, right? Do a couple back-to-back double dippers, which we might already have that in there. It might be the same human being that gave us 30, 31, 32, 33. And they're just like pausing in between each click to, savor the moment. So thank you so much for those folks that are helping to make this happen. All right, I'm going to take a few questions. So I'm going to go through the chat and just kind of give some shout outs, and take some questions, and then I'll kind of close this out with like a look forward. Oh man, I love these. I'm just gonna start here and then I'll go back up. But I love seeing these, like see this paragraph right now from Thomas. So it's gonna fill the screen. But SkillBridge member have received so much from the SkillBridge community. Thank you, Thomas, for trusting us to help you through your transition, learning how to code, help with resume, job search, beneficial having instructors. Our instructors crush it. Alex, Memo, Efren, Yashimai, all the support staff, whether it's Wa, Joyce, Blessing, marketing team, Hannah. Shout out to Sharon and uh, Kalita. I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anybody because people are going to get mad at me. Um, I think that's everybody. If I miss somebody, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think I got a lot going on. But let me go up to the very top and let's just like go through. I see a lot of thumbs up. Thank you, Lenore. Thank you, Sam, Tanya. I miss Tanya. Sorry. Love you. Sales, very important to our mission. Alex, one of our shout outs from one of our instructors. I agree. 2026 is right around the corner. I'm excited for it. We got so much on deck. Shout out to Joyce, Efren, who's one of our newest instructors, been blazing the trail inside of the ServiceNow ecosystem as a software engineer, and it's come full circle. Met Efren back at former code school, and then now being able to see people, 6 7 years ago just learning how to code. Now 6 7 years they're coming back and they're instructors and they're teaching the next generation after 5 years of industry experience. Amazing. This is a longer one. Scott, thank you. Individually useful, powerful. I believe organizations can use AI to deal with bad managers. We've all had that. It is super helpful to just have tools, have like ways that we can work smarter and think differently about education. Shout out to Sharon. Please, yes, share. AI is a pile of hammers. 100% agree. It's a tool, right? It's a tool. And you just got to figure out like, how do you incorporate it into your workday. Alfred, yeah, man, it's the mindset. Again, it's not a core skill. Our first transitioning Marine before we even had SkillBridge, it was shout out to Samuel Warren. Samuel came to me when we were just transitioning and starting San Diego Code School, and I remember met him, is like 6 years ago. Met him, and I was like, Sam, I don't have an office yet. I have the home office that I'm in attached to my house. You can come in once a week and we can meet, and the rest of it's going to be virtual. And Sam had that same mindset. He was like, okay, sure. And like, he starts showing up. I'm at my house. I'm working with Sam. We're looking at, pair programming, and I give him curriculum and he would crush it. And I was like, okay, I'm trying to move the curriculum. And he was the first student. I'm trying to get the curriculum up. He's like flying through the curriculum as fast as I can get the curriculum posted in the new boot camp. And I just remember the day that I was asking him, what did you do in the Marines? And he's like, I was a parachute rigger. I'm like, okay, how does a parachute rigger decide that you want to change your career and become a software engineer? And he's like, I just like to code. And like, I started trying it and I liked the idea. And so I was like, I just want to go all in. This is what I want to do now. And I remember the day that I saw a posting for a job fair that was happening for Red Hat IBM. And I was like, I know what Red Hat does, and they're mostly not going to be software engineering positions that they're searching for here in San Diego, especially. But I'm like, let me just send the guy down there and like let him get some reps in of talking to people and pitch and tell his story. And I'm like, they're probably not going to be anybody there hiring on a team at Red Hat for software engineers. But I was like, let me just send the kid back. A few hours later, I get a call from him, and I'm like, Sam needs help like negotiating a job offer. Like, there's no way they gave you a job offer. So like, I gotta like, let's get on the call so I can further understand, like, what are you confusing something that they are like an interview with a job offer? And it was like, again, within like a day or so, we were on a call and he was like, no, I think they want to hire me and they're making me an offer to do X, Y, and Z. This is a good offer. I was like, yeah, it's a good offer. Take that offer. To this day, he still works there. He's at Red Hat IBM. It wasn't a software engineering job, but it was a job that he could now do because he proved himself. He proved he could learn software engineering, and he just like got in there, crushed the interviews, and they invested in training him for the role. And now it's like he's doing something like on the architecture side and design and architecture of system side. But I'm just like, dude was a beast, crushed the curriculum. And it's that mindset, it's that mentality. And we just got to be able to give more people opportunities to do exactly that, to take their raw skill and be able to like do something with it. Joshua has got the list here. I think we hit every one of these: AI, prompt engineering, digital marketing, technical sales, cybersecurity, data engineer, software developer, QA engineering, cloud support. We got a ServiceNow technical implementation specialist. Our oldest one is software engineer. But man, 7 new occupations that we are going to launch feverishly in 2026. We've already got our first digital marketer. We're looking at, what interest lies from our Skillbridge participants to see, where they're going to be slotted. Thank you, Cody. Appreciate it. Again, love the support of our alums that are like truly the ones that we do all of this work for. Current apprentice. What'd she say? Mariah. Thank you for all you do. Truly blessed to have found this apprenticeship, transition out of the military, and learned so much short period. Thank you for your kind words and for your service. More IT pathways and more to come. So I'm sure as the year progresses, we're looking at pathways outside of IT. We're looking to take our expertise, the things that we learned in the digital space, and figure out what we're doing to apply this pattern to other growing industries and spaces. So yes, shout out to Alex, Efren, Memo. This is where the rubber meets the road in the classroom. These are some of the hardest working instructors and just can't do it without them. Austin, current Skillbridge member, great opportunity. I love it. It's about transitioning that interest into now you can get paid. Right? What's better than that? We read Thomas's, appreciate it. Cody, appreciate shout outs. Yes, I see pinning, sharing, liking, commenting. All of those are going to increase reach. All of those are going to help us to just help more people. Appreciate that. I gotta go soft on all that I have sacrificed. I'll just say I've made sacrifices. I've made them knowingly. When the book comes out, maybe the movie, it's gonna be a tearjerker. It's gonna be, I don't know if we're gonna put it in the drama, if we're gonna put it in the biopic documentary category, if we're gonna put it into the fantasy category, but it's gonna be an interesting autobiography that when I got enough distance and safety, because if I could say what I really want to say on this, man, it's gonna get me in trouble. So I'll be able to say it when I have that FU money. I'll be able to say it. By the way, it's all going back here. I'm locked in on who's got our back, and I appreciate the people that are already given, the people that are sharing this message, and I just feel like optimistic that next year we're going to have more AI apprentices. We're going to have more employers, more partners stepping up, more people finally getting an opportunity to get in and be in a high wage, high growth profession, have that job security that, even if you got laid off today as a software engineer, you're going to be fine. There's going to be plenty of different opportunities, new opportunities. You go right into entrepreneurship, launch a micro SaaS over a weekend, and decide you're just going to be in business on your own for a while, or you could do consulting work, or you could go take another high ticket role at another organization. That kind of freedom with this skill set of knowing AI or knowing software engineering or knowing data engineering, cloud engineering, even the ancillary, the electricians that are going to be building out the data center. Like there's so many jobs and opportunities in advanced manufacturing and chips. Trust me, it's needed that we have this pathway to get more of our folks into jobs right here. And that's what this is. This is what skills first hiring looks like. It's helping people, equipping them with the skills and the experience they need to then be able to go out and be able to say, you got this job, I can crush it. Give me a chance. Right? Give me a chance. The last, I'll kind of close things out by saying, if creating coding careers has ever made you feel hopeful and optimistic about the potential, now's the time to hit that button. Bump Sale will be live until midnight So we're going to try and run this all the way through the end of the day. Find your number, click the button, share it with other people, because at the end of the day, like, this is how we as an organization continue to thrive in 2026. The need's never been greater. I think it's obvious. The economy is tough. Uh, Uncertainty around, the typical federal funding that we can count on. This really helps to bridge that gap 100%. The number we're at right now is 34. And so let's see how high we can climb before, end of the year, confetti drops. We get to, 2027, midnight. It's new year, new game. We'll keep this up. We'll keep it rocking all the way through. And I'm just looking forward to the opportunity that we have collectively in 2027, 2026. We'll do that year first, 2026 and beyond, because I feel like the lives that we change now are going to have this ripple effect for many generations. I can't tell you the number of students that I see 4, 5, 6 years in, and they're now making hiring decisions. They're now saying, oh yeah, I can give monthly contribution because I really understand, like, that's the way for me to give back and provide the same opportunity for other people. And so again, I can't thank you enough and appreciate everybody that has already donated. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing that this matters. And I'll see you on the other side of midnight. Thanks, everybody.